Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into something loads of people dream about, learning English and learning it fast.
Yeah, it's a big goal for so many.
Definitely. Whether it's for your career, getting ahead, or maybe traveling more easily, or just connecting with folks around the world, English really does open doors.
It absolutely does.
So we're aiming to give you a bit of a shortcut today, looking at the strategies that actually work.
And that's exactly our mission here. We want to unpack the right mindset, the best strategies, and the resources that can genuinely speed things up for you. Make it faster, sure, but also enjoyable and something you can stick with.
Right. Sustainable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've dug into a really comprehensive guide on how to do this, and it challenges some common ideas about language learning.
Okay, let's unpack this then, because I think a lot of listeners might feel it's just this huge mountain to climb, takes years and years. But the guide kicks off saying, actually, quick learning is possible, maybe faster than we think. So what's the big mindset shift we need to even start believing that?
That's spot on. Often it's not about ability, it's about perspective. The guide really hammers home the importance of a growth mindset.
Okay, I've heard that term.
Right. And it's not just jargon. It's about fundamentally changing how you see the learning process.
Right.
Every slip up, every mistake. It's not failure.
Yeah.
It's feedback. It's your brain figuring things out, making new connections. But that does bring up a key question, doesn't it? How do we actually make that shift? Especially when we inevitably mess up.
Yeah, good question. And the guide offers some solid steps. It suggests setting really clear, measurable goals is, crucial.
Right. Tangible targets.
Exactly. Instead of just, I want to learn English, maybe aim for something like learn 500 English words this month, or hold a basic 3-minute chat in English by week 4.
Specifics.
They're things you can actually aim for and, see if you're hitting them.
Makes it less daunting.
Now, something that really stood out for me in the guide was this idea of just changing your surroundings. How do we actually immerse ourselves, make English kind of unavoidable?
Yeah, this is where it gets really practical and honestly pretty effective.
Yeah.
The strategy is creating what the guide calls English zones.
English zones, okay.
Yeah. It's about setting aside specific times or even places just for English. So you're not just seeing English occasionally, you're actively using it in chunks of your day.
Like how?
Well, simple stuff first. Switch your phone language to English, all your apps too.
Ooh, brave. Okay.
It is a bit jarring at first, but then maybe watch an English video while you have breakfast, listen to an English podcast on your commute, try writing, just a sentence or two in an English journal before bed.
Integrating it.
Exactly, weaving it into what you already do.
And there's that other simple trick too, right? The sticky notes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just label things in your house. Mirror, door, chair, fridge, whatever.
Right.
You stick the English word on it. It's this constant passive reinforcement. You see the object, you see the word, little mental triggers all day long.
Okay, so immersion is key. Let's talk vocabulary. The guide really pushes starting with the most common words.
Yes, high-frequency words, it makes a huge difference. Think about it. Learning just the top 1,000 most used English words gets you almost 80% of everyday conversation.
Wow, 80%. That's massive.
It really is. So focusing there first gives you a massive head start. Now, the question is, how do you make those words actually stick?
Right, not just in one ear and out the other.
Exactly. And this is where a bit of memory science comes in handy. The guide strongly suggests using flashcard apps, things like Anki or Quizlet.
Spaced repetition.
Precisely. They use spaced repetition. It's not just random quizzing. These apps figure out the perfect time to show you a word again just as you're about to forget it.
Okay.
It really helps lock it into your long-term memory much more efficiently.
And it also mentioned learning words in context, didn't it? Not just lists.
Absolutely critical advice. Don't just memorize the word delicious on its own.
Right.
Learn it in a sentence. This pizza is delicious. You instantly get how it's used, makes it so much easier to remember and actually use yourself.
Makes sense.
And connecting this back, consistency is just everything, even if it's just 15 or 20 minutes a day.
Really? That's enough.
And if you do it every day, yeah, it's way more powerful than, say, cramming for 3 hours once a week. That daily habit is what really builds momentum.
Okay, so that leads us to the scary part for many people, actually speaking. That fear of making mistakes. The guide has some advice here.
Oh, definitely. And it's pretty liberating advice, actually. It says, don't wait until you think you're perfect. You'll be waiting forever.
Yeah, probably.
Start speaking right away. Even simple sentences, even with mistakes. Communication is the goal, not flawless grammar on day one.
Okay.
And what's really helpful here is finding a language partner. There are apps for this: HelloTalk, Tandem, Speaky, loads of them.
Right. Connect with native speakers.
Or other learners, just someone to practice with in real time. It's low pressure, you're both learning, it gets you comfortable just trying.
And what about checking your own progress? The recording thing.
Yeah, that's a great self-assessment technique. Record yourself talking for maybe a minute or two about anything, then listen back.
Cringeworthy, maybe.
Maybe a little at first, but you'll immediately hear where you pause, where your pronunciation is a bit off, where your sentences get tangled. It's like having a mirror for your speaking.
Okay. I can see that.
And another really effective practice, often missed, is called shadowing.
Shadowing.
Yeah. You listen to native speaker audio or video, and you repeat right after them, trying to copy their exact sound, the rhythm, the speed, the intonation.
Like mimicking.
Exactly. It builds muscle memory for your mouth, helps you sound way more natural.
Interesting. Okay. Moving on to listening. It's more than just hearing, right? The guide talks about active listening.
Totally. Passive hearing is just sound washing over you. Active listening is engaging your brain. One technique the guide suggests is watch a short scene from a TV show or movie.
Okay.
Then watch it again, but this time, no subtitles.
Oh.
And then try to write down a quick summary of what you understood. It forces you to really focus and process the language.
That sounds challenging but useful.
And connecting that to the bigger picture, think about subtitles strategically. Start with English audio and English subtitle.
Okay, training wheels.
Kinda, yeah. Then, as you get better, try turning the subtitles off completely. It's a gradual step towards understanding without needing the text.
And just keep rewatching or re-listening.
Yes. Repetition is your friend here. You'll be amazed how much more you pick up the second, third, even fourth time you listen to something. Nuances you totally missed before.
All right. What about reading and writing? Where should beginners start?
Good question. The guide recommends starting easy. There are great websites designed for learners like VOA, Learning English, News and Levels, or Simple Wikipedia. The language is adapted, it's clearer.
Makes sense. Not jumping into Shakespeare straight away.
Definitely not. And for writing, a really powerful habit is keeping a daily journal in English.
Oh, yeah. Even if it's full of mistakes.
Especially then. The focus isn't perfect grammar, it's just expressing yourself, getting your thoughts out in English. It raises that question, though. How do you actually build that habit without feeling overwhelmed?
True. Finding the time.
But even a few sentences is a win. And then, to polish your writing, you can use online services like LangCorrect or Native.
How do they work?
You post your writing, and native speakers give you feedback, corrections. It's like having a bunch of volunteer editors.
That's pretty cool. Okay, grammar. The word that strikes fear into hearts everywhere. How does the guide suggest tackling that without wanting to run away?
Yeah, it can feel daunting. The core idea is don't try to memorize all the grammar rules up front. It's overwhelming and, frankly, not that effective initially.
So just ignore grammar.
Not ignore it, but learn it as you need it. Learn it through practice when you encounter it. It's about applying it, not just knowing the rule.
Okay.
And there are practical resources. The guide mentions classics like English Grammar in Use by Raymond Murphy. These books are great because they focus on how grammar is actually used, with examples.
Right, not just abstract rules.
Exactly. And always practice grammar in full sentences. Don't just learn verb tables in isolation. Learn tenses using timelines, maybe, or compare similar structures like, what's the difference between I have gone and I went in a real situation?
Context again.
Always context.
Okay, let's talk tech and community. These have really changed the game, haven't they? Apps first.
Oh, massively. Yeah, apps are great. Duolingo is fun for beginners, gets the basics down, gamified.
Yeah.
Memrise is excellent for vocab, often uses little videos. LingQ is really good for integrating reading and listening. And Elsa Speak is fantastic for pronunciation feedback using AI.
AI, that's the next level, isn't it?
Oh, here's where it gets really interesting now. AI tools. Chatbots, like ChatGPT. They're becoming incredible language practice partners.
How so?
Well, think about it. You can have conversations, practice specific scenarios, ask it to explain a grammar point you just got wrong, get writing prompts. It's like having a patient tutor available 24/7. It's amazing for practicing on your own.
Wow, that's a game changer.
It really is.
Yeah.
And beyond apps and AI, don't underestimate online communities.
Like forums.
Yeah, places like Reddit, Discord servers focused on language learning, Facebook groups. You connect with other learners, share tips, find practice partners, ask questions. It's a great support network. Keeps you motivated.
So putting it all together, you need a plan, right? Not just random activities.
Absolutely. A personalized study plan is key. The guide even gives a sample week. Maybe Monday is new vocab and writing practice. Friday is chatting with your language partner.
Structure helps.
It does, even a loose structure. And what's really fascinating signalogically is tracking your progress.
How does that help?
It's a huge motivator. Keep a language journal. Write down new words, sure, but also mistakes you made and how you fixed them. Notes from speaking practice, even just how you're feeling about it all.
So you can look back and see how far you've come.
Exactly. It makes the progress tangible, visible, especially on days when you feel like you're stuck.
And celebrate the wins, however small.
Yes, definitely. That first time you order coffee successfully in English, or understand a joke, or someone compliments your speaking, those moments are gold. Acknowledge them. They fuel you to keep going.
That's really important.
And look for inspiration. Read stories of people who learned English quickly, and many do, reaching fluency in 6 months, maybe a year. It shows it's totally possible.
Okay, so wrapping this up. The core message here seems to be learning English fast is doable.
It absolutely is.
With the right attitude, the right motivation, and these practical methods we talked about. And consistency beats perfection every time.
That's the takeaway. Consistency over intensity, maybe. Just show up daily. Speak, listen, read, write, immerse yourself. Every little bit adds up. Every step gets you closer to fluency.
It really turns that big dream into something achievable.
Yeah, step by step.
So a final thought for everyone listening. Considering everything we've covered today, what's maybe one specific, consistent English habit you could start doing today? Something that might genuinely surprise you with how much difference it makes in just, say, the next 30 days.